Guilty as Sins at Boston Avenue Podcast. I am Philip Boone, the Director of Mid-High and Confirmation Ministries. My co-host is Caitlin Drake, our Director of Communications. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Philip.
We are recording a special podcast episode today as a response to a recent act in our community. Today, I am joined by Jose Vega, Deputy Director at Oklahomans for Equality, and Jamie Henderson, a local artist who has contributed to numerous downtown murals. How are you all doing today?
Good, very good. Thank you.
Excellent.
I'm good too. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Jose, tell us a little bit about what has happened at Oklahomans for Equality.
Yeah, so Tuesday morning we come in and somebody had vandalized our new mural that we inaugurated at Pride. And it is Lynn Riggs, which was a openly gay playwright born in Claremore. And he wrote Where Green Grow the Lilacs that inspired the Oklahoma play. Our new theater, our Black Box Theater, is the Lynn Riggs Black Box Theater. And so best way to commemorate the Memorial Theater was to do a mural. As our staff member pulled up into the parking lot, the face was spray painted mostly on the mouth area, and then the word abomination written right next to it. First thing our staff member did was call the directors and then go through the video footage. And it appears that an individual coming from the east towards the center did it around 11:17 p.m. and then walked back towards the east, walking out of downtown.
And I've seen some of the video footage that's been shared, and it looked like it was a very intentional act, that they knew exactly where they were spray painting and that they, came prepared with that in mind. What are the feelings right now at the center?
Yeah, it's always painful and it hurts. It hurts because Dennis Neill, one of the founders of the organizations, is the main funder who paid for the mural. And we were all so excited and happy about it. It's our second mural on the building. And so just to see that somebody came into our safe place and vandalized, it's always hurtful. Now, this isn't the first time vandalism has happened at the center. If you recall, 2 years ago, even more terrifying one happened where 14 bullets were shot at the front door. It's always a setback and it hurts. But what I love is that the community comes together and you can feel the love and support. Just last night, the Mayor G.T. Bynum made a post, and that was a very proud moment for me and for myself, because I was proud to be living in Tulsa where city officials support us and they understand that we still don't have hate crime protection, but they're willing to make a public post to show that bigotry is not accepted in our city.
I love seeing the mayor go out in front of it and say whenever it was Pride Street was dedicated and we were there and he spoke, and it's nice to see someone of his stature who is willing to come out in support of pride and equality.
Yes, yeah.
Jamie, you are the artist who initially painted this mural, correct?
Yes.
Can one of you tell us about how this mural came to be?
On the back end, I wasn't as involved as my company that I work with, ColourPop Art Labs. I know Scott Taylor was coordinating with the Equality Center to get this commissioned, and then it was rendered by another awesome artist named Teo at ColourPop, and so it was really a group effort. And then I went out and did the actual painting.
And tell us a little bit more about this mural. I know you told us who was in it. From an artist's perspective, what is representational with that mural?
Oh, sure, yeah. It's a portrait, obviously, so we want to talk about the person. You want to represent the person, Lynn Riggs, who is a really cool figure that I honestly didn't know very much about when I started painting this mural, and it led me to do some research, and it was really fascinating. And then we did like the idea of just bringing a lot of color and representing pride without being just a straightforward, obvious way, but putting together something really beautiful that sent that message.
Jose, what kind of response have you seen out of this event? You talked about you've gotten a lot of the community has really come out in support. any particular groups, or what kind of responses have you seen?
So we've gotten a lot of positive responses, a lot of artists who, hey, I want to help, I know how to remove it, or I want to help touch it up. It's like, well, we're going to stick with Color Pop's company, who is helping all of that. But we are accepting donations. We know that the material to remove the spray paint will be costly, to retouch up certain areas. And then we want to put a clear coat over it. Several artists recommended that this clear coat would protect it a little bit more if it was vandalized again, and even from sun damage. So we're moving forward with all of that. We have gotten our security has gone up. Just yesterday, we had an individual walk around the building. It was very suspicious, but it wasn't illegal. He was walking around the building, taking pictures of every camera, of every exit door, every angle, taking pictures of every car in the parking lot, license plates, making videos and for photography. And it was very suspicious. We were all heightened. And of course, after a vandalism like this, we get worried. You know, everything that we see it as suspicious. So we did talk to the individual. We stepped outside and asked if there's something we can do to help him. What is he doing? He said, well, it's a free country. I can do what I want. I'm just taking video and footage of your building. But why? Well, because it's not illegal and I can do it. And so those kind of responses, of course, it gives a little bit of fear of our community. So we have a special event this weekend where we will be having security. We have asked every volunteer to leave together. Nobody leaves alone. We have minimized a certain amount of people that come into the building. When something like this happens, we have to be safe in every single way. And so we were able to make a Facebook post and try to identify the individual. And due to other people seeing his photo, we were able to identify them. And it's not somebody that we should be too worried about, but we are keeping an eye on them. And we are working closely with the LGBTQ liaison at the police department.
And you talked about an upcoming event. I've seen it on Facebook. There's a Lynn Riggs poetry reading as a response. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have two events going on this weekend. Raise the Roof event, which is this Saturday, where we will be fundraising, and we've been fundraising for the entire month since Pride for a new roof. The center there's been structural damage towards the building, water damage, a lot of certain things like that around the building. And so we're doing a fundraiser this weekend, as well as Sunday. We have the museum in Claremore coming out and do some poetry reading. We have several TU and OSU students coming out from across the state to come and do a reading this Sunday at 3 p.m. at the Neill Equality Center, where we ask them, hey, if this is something that will give support and something that you feel that is giving back to community, let's do it. Let's show them that their vandalism, trying to silence Lynn Riggs by spray painting his mouth, they didn't silence him then, and they won't silence him now. And they won't silence us now.
You mentioned the program coming up being a fundraiser. If someone is not able to come, but they're wanting to donate, to give money, where can they go in order to do that?
Yes, visit our website, www.okeq.org, and then click on the store tab. And in the store tab, you will see a button which you can donate to the roof or you can donate to the mural.
What are some other ways that individuals in the community who want to be supportive can show up? We're, at Boston Avenue, we're really firm believers in the theology of one of the greatest commandments is to love your neighbor. So how do we love our neighbors at OKEQ?
Yeah, loving OKEQ and supporting them. Volunteering, we're always accepting volunteers. The center is the 7th largest LGBTQ community center in the world, and there's only 5 staff members. Our hours of operation are from 9 in the morning till 9 p.m. So when I say the center's ran by volunteers, it's ran by volunteers. All of our programs, the front desk, the helpline, our counseling services, legal services, it is all by volunteers. So if you have a talent, skill, or would like to teach a class or art, please let me know. You can email me at Jose, Jose.Vega, Vega, at okeq.org. Also, calling your legislator and your city councilor, let them know, hey, there's no hate crime protection in Oklahoma. And this is a hate crime. It was an act of terrorism because they were terrorizing a marginalized community. It was an attack of hate, hating the LGBTQ community. And so making these phone calls, writing letters to these city officials and legislators that we need to make this a hate crime. There's no hate crime protection towards LGBT, no employment, no housing protection, no public accommodation. We're just not a protected class in this state, and that is why the work the center does is so important.
And it's so hard for us at Boston Avenue to see these people doing such crimes because they're usually hiding behind religion, or like the use of the word abomination, hiding behind the Bible and what we would consider their misuse of Scripture to hate another group of people. Mm-hmm. And it's difficult to watch for LGBTQ community and for the more progressive church community. So it's important that everybody come together to be able to fight this. And so it doesn't happen anymore. I was wanting to know one thing. Jamie, I was wondering what exactly goes into fixing the mural, because you don't have to repaint their whole mural. So what exactly would go into it? Just kind of touching up what's been vandalized?
First, they're going to clean it, and we're going to see what remains after that. There was some question about how much of the base paint it's going to take off. So it's really going to be a wait and see. So they're going to do the cleaning first, and then we'll go back in and repaint whatever we need to.
Okay, so it doesn't have to completely start brand new.
No, thank goodness, no.
Janie, as an artist, how do you feel your work? Something that I remember seeing you spinning under the sun and climbing that ladder, and all the work that you did. How does it feel to just somebody come in and just damage art that you worked so hard on?
Oh yeah, and that's heartbreaking. It was lots of hours in direct sunlight in a parking lot. And I was really excited about the project. I thought it was beautiful. I liked the design. I liked the message. I enjoyed being able to design part of it myself. And it is heartbreaking that someone thinks that it's okay to do that to someone else's property or to someone else's work. And then to have a nasty message that's so hateful with it is just it's just all terrible. But it'll be fixed. It'll be okay.
And is there a timeline for fixing it? I know just the longer it's out there and the more people see it, I imagine the more damage it inflicts emotionally on a community.
As far as I know, we're going to get it worked on at the beginning of the week. So
yes, by Monday next week, that's when it should all start. So probably by the end of the month, which is next week, by the end of next week.
Do you have anything else to talk about, or is there anything else on your mind that you'd like to share?
So people have asked me, what would you say to this individual if you saw them? And I stay with my response that I would invite the individual to come in to the center and let's have a conversation. Let's hear where this hate is coming from, this misunderstanding, because what it is lack of information, lack of education and knowledge, and it's a message of hate, not of love. And so the center is open to anybody who may not understand the LGBT community, and we have a lot of affiliations with churches who are willing to also help in these conversations and educate the individuals on, God is a love of message, and to love our neighbors no matter who they love and who they are. So if anyone who just does not understand and is open to a conversation with an LGBTQ individual, you know where to find us on Pride Street.
Thank you for joining us. This has been the Ascends at Boston Avenue podcast, where the A stands for that we affirm that everyone is a beloved child of God. We are located at 1301 South Boston, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you.